Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your WWE Cruiserweight Classic Live Reactions, Episode 8. Man, there are only 2 matches tonight, which tells me that there are going to be 2 awesome matches. And because we have had complaints about people not being able to sync up with us, we decided to kind of attack this in more of a similar way to the way that we attack New Japan. We have the CWC Episode 8 pulled up, set to 1 minute and 24 seconds. PW Gregory tweeted me, and he even said that's when the intro starts. So we have it set to there, and we will be hitting the play button on go. 3, 2, 1, go. And now we get to do this, and we get to have it synced up beautifully, and you guys get to sync it up with us, and it's going to be wonderful.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, 2 matches tonight, Gran Metalik versus Akira Tozawa, and the big one, Brian Kendrick, the post-apocalyptic scavenger, against Kota Ibushi. That should be an absolute barn burner. Kendrick's been wrestling out of his mind. This will be his 3rd match, round 3. Kota Ibushi, quite a phenom in the wrestling world. I love his last ride variation of a sit-out powerbomb. Really 2 great forces colliding here in round 3 tonight, and I'm really stoked for both of these matches.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Kendrick Ibushi is going to be one of the most interesting matches that we've seen so far in this tournament, if for no other reason, just because of how different their styles are.
Oh, well, absolutely, partner. I mean, you look at Kota Ibushi, he's got the agility, but he's also got, in my mind, a slightly underappreciated power game. Again, referring back to that power bomb. With Kendrick, he's a little bit of everything. Got a little bit of a technical flair, can do the high flying, but the big thing with him is he's wily. He's shrewd. You're talking about a guy who I believe Kendrick comes in at 35 years old. He has expressed quite openly, look.
37, isn't he?
37 he might even be, and that just even further proves my point. Kendrick has been quite open in saying, look, this might be my last chance, and you see the way he's won matches, not necessarily villainous or dirty, but again, very shrewd, utilizing his environment, capitalizing on mistakes. Kendrick, I think, may be the hungriest competitor in this thing, simply because of the emotional significance this tournament bears for him, but Kota Ibushi is one hell of a roadblock.
Yeah, dude, I looked it up. He is 37 years old.
Again, just further bolsters the point. Kendrick sees this as his last chance. And if he could beat
Kota... Because I remember there was a quote where he said 37-year-old Brian Kendrick knows that 38-year-old Brian Kendrick might not get another shot.
Exactly. It's just been a very emotional time for Kendrick. And I think he's driven, he's fueled by that emotion. But Kota Ibushi... He's a seasoned competitor, traveled all over the world. You could say the same of Kendrick, but I just think Kota Ibushi, his star is on the rise. This is not going to be an easy time for Kendrick, but hey, just ask Tony Nese how great Brian Kendrick is. So Kota Ibushi can't sleep on this one.
Yeah, definitely. But the first match that we're going to get tonight is Gran Metalik versus Akira Tozawa.
This is a great opportunity. I mean, we're quite exposed to both guys, partner. We know Gran Metalik, formerly Mascara Dorada from New Japan, and you and I took quite a shine to him there. Akira Tozawa really staked his claim, at least for us personally, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, PWG. And Gran Metalik has been quite impressive, and I will say I was actually a little bit surprised when he beat Tajiri, and I believe it was the 2nd round.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Tajiri, much like Kendrick, that veteran, really working more of that, what I would call that Kushida kind of style, isolating a limb, very psychologically motivated. But Gran Metalik, with that Samoan driver, really got the job done. And we'll see if he can hit it again here on Akira Tozawa. Tozawa, of course, likes to appeal to the deadlift German, claims he has one of the best in the business. And I certainly won't dispute that. So here we see Tozawa here.
Tozawa is one of the strongest guys in this tournament, pound for pound.
Exactly. And I got to tell you, man, Tozawa says he wants to be in the WWE. It would be a dream come true. And if you win this tournament, I mean, forget about having your foot in the door. You'll have kicked the door down and just entered just completely. It's unbelievable. The winner of this tournament has got a big chip on their shoulder coming if they can accomplish this, and Akira Tozawa just might be that man.
Definitely has a possibility, but in order to do that, he has to win tonight against Gran Metalik.
Yeah, which is easier said than done, but one thing you'll notice about Tozawa, even with his stature, and this is most notable again in his deadlift Germans, and for me, also his sentons, the guy really knows how to utilize his power and his weight to the fullest. And there you see Jack Gallagher there. And then I believe that was Kenneth Johnson.
This is kind of your traditional power and strikes versus lucha match.
Definitely. I mean, this is a sharp contrast in styles, to be sure. Who would you favor in this matchup, partner?
You know, I really like Tozawa, but I gotta say, I like what Gran Metalik has been doing in this tournament, and given that he actually beat Tajiri, I think Gran Metalik has got this.
I won't necessarily call Gran Metalik the underdog, because I don't think you could get to round 3 being the underdog, but I think he's somebody that's kind of flown more under the radar relative to other competitors. And again, I agree with you.
I think he's had a more difficult path to get to round 3 than Tozawa has, though, because I don't even remember who Tozawa beat in the first round, and I know he beat Jack Gallagher in the second round, which, I mean, Gallagher is entertaining, but I don't think anyone has ever really brought up, like, oh, this guy's super intimidating, I can't believe he's going to beat him, or whatever. Whereas with Gran Metalik, I think I remember his first match was against Raul Mendoza, who was one of the biggest guys in this tournament. He was the guy I think that had to drop like 20 or 30 pounds just to make the weight. And then Tajiri, who was one of very few actual veterans in this tournament. I think Gran Metalik has had a tougher path to round 3, and that makes him the stronger competitor right now.
I could tell you Akira Tozawa beat Kenneth Johnson in round 1. But I do.
Yeah, another, yeah. I mean, I don't dislike Kenneth Johnson, but he's definitely not somebody who's an established name by any means whatsoever.
Certainly not. And Gran Metalik, I do agree with you. His path to round 3 has certainly been more arduous than I would argue his opponent, Akira Tozawa. But again, I feel like Gran Metalik, and again, this is just speaking from my vantage point, is probably one of the greatest revelations of this tournament. I'd say him and Gallagher both kind of fit that mold. Only difference is Metalik's still here, so he can still dazzle and amaze. And I'll tell you, winner of this goes to round 4, the semifinals. And there's that just beautiful jumping elbow drop using the rope. The great balance and dexterity of Gran Metalik could be a great weapon in his arsenal here against Tozawa. And here we see again that Samoan driver. Bam!
You know what else is kind of funny about Gran Metalik, John, is last year during G1, we kind of thought that he was, a decade plus kind of veteran of the business. And then when I finally actually looked him up, it turned out he was in his mid to late 20s. And we were both very surprised by that. So it's really not a big surprise that he's come this far in this tournament. He's a guy who is, we've said in the ring, he looks like a decade plus veteran, but he's really only in his 20s. So that's the exact combination you look for in a potential winner of a tournament like this.
I'll tell you, that's the exact combination you look for when you're looking for an in-ring genius. And I would actually use that term for Gran Metalik. Again, you said it best. It's youth meets in-ring brilliance. I mean, he seems to be a decade ahead of most luchadors at such a young age. I mean, he works the ring like a pro, as does Tozawa. I like that he goes for the single leg, immediately transitions right into the waist lock. I don't know if
Tozawa, it looks like Tozawa wanted the deadlift German right off the bat there.
I don't blame him. Look, when it's round 3 and you know you can taste the semis, I think your sense of urgency has got to be at an all-time high. As you see now, Tozawa going to try and get the leverage back on his side. Nice leg pick there, back to the single leg, and now isolating the leg, which again, partner, you talked about that contrast in styles. Gran Metalik more that luchador. Well, try being a luchador with one bad wheel. I think that's very smart by Tozawa.
Yeah, and now he's got the leg hooked, but Tozawa, very smart there by Tozawa, using his flexibility, reaching back, grabbing Metalik in a headlock, and then the headlock takeover. Actually a pinning combination, and now the legs wrenching the neck away and back to neutral.
Exactly. I was getting ready to say the same. And you see Tozawa, I think he's got a little bit of his swagger up. I think when you really start to chain wrestle with a guy like that, you get the blood flowing. You're like, okay, we're in this now. We're doing it. And now all bets are off. One of these guys is going to go to round 4. I mean, to make it that far just shows that you really are, of the 32 competitors, just one of the best cruiserweights in the world. And now, look at this Tozawa here. Just pushes.
Oh, and the kick.
Then Tozawa, what's he going to do here? Off the ropes. Oh, vaults over to Gran Metalik, and Tozawa, nice arm drag there. Beautiful
arm drag. Double drop kick, back to neutral.
Indeed. No one's gotten the dominant position yet. What I respect about both these guys, because I'm just going to be honest, partner, I think if a lesser competitor was sharing that ring with either one of these guys, they'd be a bit shaken. You know, they'd think, why can't I get a foothold in on this match? These guys, nah, they know they'll get in second gear eventually, and they don't want to rush it. They know how big this match is, and look at Tozawa there wrenching the side headlock. So when you look at
and these quarterfinals matches have a longer time limit. Up until now, everything's been 20-minute time limit. This is 30.
Ah, okay then. Okay, that definitely says a lot. And now look at Tozawa inviting Metalik to give it his best shot. He does. Nice shoulder blood there.
Neither one of these guys is particularly large, even in the cruiserweight division. I'm pretty sure not only are they both under 205, which is what's required in order to qualify to be in this tournament, but I'm pretty sure they're both under 190.
Right, and what a drop kick there by Gran Metalik.
Yeah.
That was a nice follow-through by the young man there. And Tozawa, and this is another thing I didn't mention about Tozawa, because I don't know if Gran Metalik has any lingering handicaps, but, you know, Tozawa had his leg picked apart by Gallagher, and you have to wonder if that's going to come into play here in this round. And now Metalik vaulting over, but lands right on the apron. I think it was a Gamengiri there by Gran Metalik. Board drop kick there.
Having done a little bit of research, John, I can confirm that Gran Metalik is only 100. Oh, and look at that suicide dive. That was beautiful.
What a gorgeous tope suicida that was. And notice he got all of that head almost like a battering ram there.
Almost like King Cuerno's arrow from the depths of hell.
Exactly. That was so smart by Metalik, because mostly, with the exception of Cuerno, of course, I see a suicide dive and it's almost like arms out. But if you take a look at this again here, folks, yeah, that was all head. He used it as a battering ram. That was brilliant.
That was brilliant. We both said that at the same time. But yeah, I was even getting ready to say both of these guys are 180 pounds or less.
Now imagine if you concentrate all that weight at the speed that Gran Metalik hit those ropes and focused it all on your head for that suicide dive. I mean, Tozawa's got to be in a lot of pain.
Springboard crossbody. That was awesome.
Excellently executed, too. And Tozawa kicks out.
And also, I saw, while I was looking up the weights, I also saw the ages. Metalik, 28 years old. Tozawa, 31.
Not bad. Not that much of an age differential, but Tozawa is the older competitor.
Going for a figure four. Wow.
Look at that.
You don't see the figure four locked in that way very often.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, partner. You're pretty much an expert on the form of the figure four. You've commented on many guys' variations in the past. What do you think of Metalik's?
Not horrible, but I have seen better. It doesn't look like he's putting too much pressure on the knee, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it is smart, though, that he'd isolated again, referring back to that match that Tozawa had with Gallagher. So it shows that Metalik's been paying attention. And now Tozawa there gets the rope. Man, and Tozawa, you see the pained expression on his face. I'll tell you, I can't imagine.
I wonder, like, if there was a singular number that kind of tries to quantify. And here's the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. If there was a number that tried to quantify who had the most upside, the most potential in this tournament, you would think that the two most important aspects would be experience and youth. And I think that in this tournament right now, in this match, I think that Metalik might have the edge in both of those categories over Tozawa.
I would certainly agree with you. Now let's see if he can put it together for a win.
Oh,
nice drop kick though by Tozawa. So that was a big opening because, too, that softened up the back. Now, if he's able to get that deadlift German later in the match, I don't really know if Gran Metalik would be able to offer a lot of resistance. Nice. I think it was just a straight boot to the head there of Gran Metalik.
Yeah, like a pump kick.
Exactly. And now what's Tozawa thinking about?
He wants to dive. Oh, and a similar, that was more of a forearm than a headbutt, but still much more momentum behind that, I think.
Exactly. And it should be noted that Tozawa had the security barricade assisting him.
Guardrail, yeah.
And now Tozawa. Look at this, though. Gran Metalik grabbing him by the foot, but Tozawa kicks him off.
And, oh, and another dive. Wow. And, John, I was just getting ready to say, I was mentioning youth and experience. These guys actually have a tie in the experience category. Both debuted in 2005, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Both have already been doing this for 11 years, which means that Metalik began his career at the age of 17.
Yeah, and meanwhile, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and meanwhile, Tozawa started at 20, which is still relatively young. But when you see, the starting age with a teen number next to it, the guy has some prodigy in him.
Exactly. Hooks the leg and Metalik kicks out. I mean, that's how you know the really special ones, because most kids are like, I'll wait till I'm 18. I believe Rey Mysterio started at 15 or 16. Becky Lynch.
14, didn't he? I thought Rey started at 14, honestly.
You might be right. It might have been 14. And there's the senton that I pointed out earlier, just concentrating all that weight, too. And Metalik kicks out, so Rey at 14. We know Becky Lynch lied to Finn Balor so she could train at a younger age, and now Metalik at 17. That's how you know that's a special breed, and a breed that Tozawa does seem confident against, but we'll see if he can pick up the win. Nice knife edge chop there. That senton, though, had to drive the wind out of Metalik.
Well, and I think that knife edge chop might have done the same thing because he is down and in a lot of pain.
Exactly. And again, if you drive the wind out of a guy, if you really beat him down and can't offer up much resistance for what you want to do to him, and we know Tozawa has just had his mind from the word go on that deadlift German. There's another knife edge there. Metalik staggering. Overhand shove there by Metalik, but Tozawa tries to eat it. He's going to try and suck it up here. Another knife edge by Tozawa. This seems like it's devolving into a war of attrition, partner.
Oh, and just the open hand slap. Or was that a punch? That might have been a punch, actually.
I think that was a punch. You see Tozawa admiring the clenched fist that he had. 2. Metalik kicks out.
Time there. Just a little too much time with the self-admiration from Tozawa.
And I got to say, partner, I know I could be wrong about this, but given that Metalik works that Lucha Libre style and he's proven to be quite an agile and adept human being, maybe he would be able to counter Tozawa's deadlift German in a unique fashion that could actually make the move work against Tozawa. That remains to be seen. And now Tozawa try and hush the crowd. Drop kick to the head there. Tell you, Tozawa, a very precise striker, it seems like to me. And now he's got Gran Metalik right. Is he going to shoot him into the opposite corner here? That's what it's looking like.
Yes, he is. Oh, all the way across into the... No! Metalik got out of the way. Super kick. Oh, but Tozawa's following him. Oh, but look at this. The balance. The rope balancing from Metalik and the drop kick. That was beautiful. And now... I thought he was going to do a senton. He went into a shooting star, too! And Tozawa kicks out.
Tozawa staying in it. But I'll tell you, what a sequence by Metalik there. It just shows you how brilliant this young man is. Take a look at this again, folks. Bam! Add shooting star press, standing variation.
Beautiful. Yeah, that was great. Wow.
And now Metalik going to try and follow up.
Tozawa back elbow.
What? Hide on that. That was gorgeous. Hooks the leg again, too. Tozawa stays in it.
So awesome to see Gran Metalik doing all the things that made us rave about him in G1 last year in front of this size of an audience.
Absolutely. This young man's time may have finally come. If he can beat Tozawa, he's thinking about that Samoan driver.
Oh,
Tozawa's thinking German.
Sunset flip. Oh, but Tozawa with the Shining Wizard.
Nicely done there. 2.
Oh, but only a 2 count. That was so close.
So close for Tozawa, and you could even see he's communicating his frustration. Just slap the mat. But Tozawa, I think, is experienced enough to know that you can't let frustration get the better of you here.
Oh, just double chest slap there to Metalik as if to say, get back in the corner, bitch.
Now he's going to charge again.
Oh, the double pump kick. Oh, the Saito. That was like almost like a backdrop driver, John. 1, 2. And look at that. Metalik kicks out again. He's staying alive in this. This is really enjoyable. I'm really glad Metalik is getting the opportunity to show what he can do to the degree that he is.
Absolutely. He's a phenomenal athlete. a spectacular competitor. And Tozawa
I feel like Gran Metalik is everything that Phoenix should be.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. And Tozawa trying to fire up here.
Oh, and a super kick.
He got that.
Do another one? No, he breaks it off. Overhead chop, running over to the ropes, up on the ropes, double handspring, drop kick.
Excellent sequence. I mean, again, that brilliance on display. Gran Metalik, though, signaling he's going to go high there.
Oh, my God. He is so good.
Expertly done, and Metalik knows it. That was full contact, too. He didn't graze the arm or anything. That was full body-on-body contact, which is what you should always aim for high-risk maneuvers. Yep. Tozawa was certainly feeling the effects of that.
Always aim for body-on-body, people.
And there it is again. I mean, I'll tell you, Metalik, he is something special. Now we'll see here. Tozawa, I do like Tozawa's mindset, but I don't think it's going to do him any good. He tried to create distance between himself and Metalik. And now Metalik here. I don't know if he's going to go to the top rope or what he's thinking about. I mean, we know that Samoan driver. He's employed it.
Oh, wow.
Scoop slam
nice,
there. But
nice scoop slam there. That was kind of an awkward, scoop slam Falcon Arrow hybrid.
Yeah, could it be a moonsault?
Moonsault. Oh, with the feet.
Oh, he got both of them right in the face, and you figure coming down at that momentum, I had to be a bitch, and Metalik kicks out. Tozawa can't believe it. But I'll tell you what, though, he got both feet in the face. Metalik's got to have slightly scrambled brains after that one. And now I wonder what Tozawa's thinking about here. Now he's going to try and pick Metalik up. Oh, man, now he's perched on the top rope. I don't know if it's going to be a superplex or something else that Tozawa has in mind. Tozawa is calling out to the crowd. I don't know.
Oh, he's going to the top rope. Maybe a Rana. I don't know.
Maybe. Look at Metalik, though, fighting.
No, Metalik. Oh, look at that. Next. Oh, look. Oh, and now the balance again. Oh, but no, gets right back in the ring. And the slap there from Tozawa. Oh, but the Kamigiri from Metalik hangs Tozawa up on the top rope.
Yeah, and just ask KJ Styles how pleasant that is.
Top rope. Rana.
There it is. Beautiful snap on that Rana.
That was close.
Tozawa staying in it. I'll tell you, again, as I said earlier, ask AJ Styles how it feels to be crunched on that rope, but Tozawa making an impressive recovery.
Yeah. He was hung on that thing for 10 minutes, though, let's be fair.
That is true. I mean, AJ, I hope he didn't plan on having any more children because those dreams got dashed. But Gran Metalik,
I think he's got enough by now.
I'll tell you what, Gran Metalik's dreams of advancing to round 4 are still very much alive. Spin kick there by Tozawa. Gran Metalik ducks the other one.
Tozawa goes for the German, but Metalik lands on his feet. Goes to the lariat. Oh, and there's another Oh, my God, that snap German.
Oh, this could be it here. Tozawa's feeling it. Normally, when the deadlift German's preceded by the snap German, there's no escape. Tozawa doing a bit of posturing, though. Can Metalik find a way? He's trying.
Oh, no, he doesn't. 1, 2, and he kicks out.
What? Wow.
Wow. Metalik kicks out of the deadlift German. We haven't seen anyone be able to do that yet. That's what I meant, though, when I said that I felt like Akira Tozawa's path to the finals or to the quarterfinals was a little bit easier than Metalik's.
I have to agree with you, partner. That's got to get in Tozawa's head, seeing Metalik kick out of his best shot.
Oh, he's trying to do an arm trap. Oh, no. Yeah, the arm trap German, the double arm trap.
Oh, if he gets this.
Oh, but look at Metalik with the leg hook.
Metalik, great awareness.
He has him up. This might be it. Samoan driver, and he hits
it. He got it. He got it.
1,
3. 3 count. He did it. Gran Metalik is going to round 4.
Going to the semifinals.
Unbelievable.
He needs to win 2 more matches in order to be crowned the first ever CWC winner.
I mean, easier said than done, partner, but Gran Metalik has been so impressive.
Yeah, he really has.
And what kind of a message does it send to the rest of the CWC competitors that Gran Metalik kicked out of Tozawa's best shot, stayed in the fight, and won the fight? I think it's a major message set.
Yeah, that is huge. He actually kicked out of that bridging German. That's crazy.
That is crazy. You see the drop kick again there. I'll tell you, Gran Metalik, he took to the air here, soared perfectly. Gesture to the crowd. I'll tell you, this guy, he's putting together a body of work in this tournament. He's looking more and more like a real favorite to win this thing. And Tozawa, hey, he was no pushover. He actually got off his deadlift German and the snap German to precede it. And yet Metalik wanted it just that bad that he was able to stay in it.
Yeah. I don't know what he calls it in WWE now, since he's not Massacre Dorada anymore, but he always called that Samoan driver the Dorada screwdriver.
Ah. Well, I guess we'll, I don't know, Metalik's screwdriver doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well. But regardless, it does get the W here.
And there we go. Got the hand raised. The winner, your victor, Gran Metalik. What a great match.
Definitely. Definitely. It was a standout performance for both guys.
Yes, I would say he's probably going to end up facing Zack Sabre Jr. in the semifinals. That match is going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, it is. And hey, you know what? I know
I'm not trying to disrespect Noam Dar, but he has, again, it's another example of Noam Dar hasn't had the same level of competition to get here that ZSJ and Metalik have had.
Right. And I'll tell you what.
ZSJ, I don't remember his first round opponent, but having to beat Drew Gulak in the second round, that's being tempered in the best steel. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, I know ZSJ is one of the best in the world right now. I've even said the same. But Gran Metalik is not somebody you want to underestimate. What an impressive performance by that young man.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that leaves only one match, partner. Kota Ibushi.
Kendrick versus Kota Ibushi.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, Kota Ibushi, as I've said, a real phenom in this industry, has really come into his own as a great look, very well-rounded competitor. Brian Kendrick, though, to me, he's kind of the Cinderella man of this tournament, looking at this as his last chance to really make a great impression, to really leave a legacy in the WWE. And
these men are older than both of the men that we just watched.
Right. And look, in a business,
Brian Kendrick 37, Kota Ibushi 34. Both men have quite a few years under their belts, respectively. I think Kendrick might have actually started at a very young age. Yeah, he started in 1999 when he was only, well, again, kind of going back to Tozawa, 20 years old is when he started. On the other hand, Ibushi started in 2004 when he was 22.
Right. And there is Kota Ibushi. I guess kind of getting in a groove. And Kendrick, again, just they say ring style is high flying. I don't think that really does Kendrick enough justice. Yes, he can utilize high flying maneuvers, but with that experience edge, he can exploit anything, whether it's the mistake of the opponent or the ring. I mean, we saw some innovative tactics by Kendrick in his round 2 matchup against Tony Nese. We saw him trap Tony Nese's arm in the turnbuckle pad at one point. This is a man in Kendrick. He calls himself, again, the post-apocalyptic scavenger. Winning this is everything to Kendrick. I cannot understate it enough how much winning the Cruiserweight Classic would mean to this man, because he really is. And you know, let's be frank, partner. You and I both know that the pro wrestling industry, with maybe some exceptions, but predominantly it is an industry for the youthful. You know, the younger you are, the more mileage you'll have if you want to pursue pro wrestling. Kendrick is 37 years old. That window is narrow. He wants to take the moment now. Can he do it against Kota Ibushi? That is the question. Kendrick.
Yeah, this is a very interesting matchup. Two very well, I shouldn't say very, two relatively experienced, because both have over a decade under their belt, so maybe very experienced is the proper word. Two extremely experienced guys who really it kind of, they're opposites in the sense that Kendrick never really got a shot. Kendrick I mean, whether he screwed it up for himself or not, he never really got the opportunity that a lot of people say and think that he should have. Ibushi, on the other hand, was given opportunities. I mean, even over in New Japan, he was a cruiserweight or a junior heavyweight for the longest time, but as soon as he declared himself eligible for the heavyweight division, they put him in a G1 and he got hurt. And then the second year he was a heavyweight. He got into the G1 and he underperformed. So he is in the NFL, he is the kind of guy who, in the NFL, if somebody underperforms their athleticism despite being given opportunities, those are the kind of guys who you kind of write off. You just kind of say, oh well, they're never gonna reach that potential that they might have. I don't think that necessarily applies to pro wrestling, because we've seen guys who had all the potential in the world and didn't really put it together until after a decade in the business. I would even go as far as to say Randy Orton might be one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, partner, I'm glad you said that, because I was getting ready to say, on the side of the man making his entrance now, Brian Kendrick. I mean, look, you're talking about a guy that he came up in WWE around the time I was watching the Ruthless Aggression era. I've seen Spanky. I've seen Brian Kendrick with Paul London. I've seen the Brian Kendrick. I've even seen some of his stuff in TNA. But as a man that I would like to think of myself as a Brian Kendrick fan, I don't know if I've ever seen him better than the 2 rounds we've seen him in this tournament. It's like a completely different athlete, and that's what we call experience. And here we see again the barn burner he had with Tony Nese. This Brian Kendrick is the best Brian Kendrick I've ever seen, and Kota Ibushi needs to be wary of that fact.
And can I also say, Kendrick, I mean, you said you saw John.
Yeah, partner, you cut out there. I apologize. Can you say that again?
Oh, yeah. You said that you've seen Spanky, right?
That's correct.
Okay. I am relatively confident. Hasn't he? Okay, maybe not. Never mind. I thought for some reason that he had been an ROH world champion before, but he never was. So he was a TNA X Division champion, though. So there is that.
Yes, I believe he beat Douglas Williams for that championship. And
wow,
Kendrick, I'll tell you. Well, again, I would like to consider myself.
Douglas Williams was in TNA at the same time as Kendrick.
Oh yeah, Douglas Williams. He was in TNA. He first came along as part of the tag team, the British Invasion. Then he went
into singles. 2009 though. I thought Kendrick was there in like 2007.
I think Kendrick, if I remember correctly, came a bit later than that. All I know is Douglas Williams had an angle where he was X Division champion. And of course, the X Division at that time was predicated on, aerial maneuvering and high flying and all that stuff. Douglas Williams was more of a ground and technical style, using things like a body scissors guillotine and, of course, his infamous chaos theory. And Kendrick wanted to return the X theory. Oh, chaos theory is one of my favorite moves in the books. But Kendrick wanted to return the X Division. I can confirm that,
even though they were around the same time, Douglas Williams had his 2 X Division title runs in 2010. Brian Kendricks came in 2011. He defeated Abyss for it and lost to Austin Aries.
You know what? I remember that storyline as well.
Austin Aries' title run where he created Option C, I believe.
Right. And now look at Kendrick here, already doing the psychological warfare. He shoves Ibushi, then creates a distance, trying to get Ibushi riled up. Now, partner, we've talked about contrasts and styles. There's certainly a contrast here, but I think the more important contrast to take note of, which we've already kind of touched on, again, experience, with the roads these men have taken. I mean, if you're Kota Ibushi, and I'm sure you've watched Kendrick's prior 2 rounds, what's the one thing you've got to be the most wary of when it comes to the post-apocalyptic scavenger, Brian Kendrick?
That he is willing to reach into his bag of tricks, and I don't think anybody knows exactly how deep that bag is.
Exactly. A nice forearm there. And then look at the body shots here by Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, Ibushi's going to play it straight. Ibushi is one of the biggest guys in this tournament, believe it or not. Again, I can't emphasize enough. Even though he did underperform in G1, he did perform in G1 last year. He is a former G1 Climax competitor, and your body needs to be in a different kind of in shape in order to participate in a G1, even if you do underperform like Ibushi.
And now Ibushi trying to get the crowd into it here. Oh, he's probably thinking that triangle moonsault early. And gonna vault over.
Moonsault.
Beautiful. That was actually one of the better, got more body-on-body contact, which I mentioned in the preceding bout. That's what every aerial maneuver should aim for. And now Kota Ibushi. Getting an offensive maneuver like that this early in the bout, that's got to be a huge vote of confidence to your capabilities when you're standing across from a man like Brian Kendrick. And Kendrick, he better use this time to regain his bearings because Kota Ibushi doesn't look like he's going to let up at all. Well, again on the replay, gorgeous.
And the arm, yeah, usually he only hits the arm, but in that you could tell he landed more on the shoulder, which kind of landed more across the body than anything.
Exactly. Thank you, partner, for really illustrating that, because that's what I was really trying to get at. And now Ibushi going to follow through here on Kendrick. I do like, though, that Kendrick is playing defense.
But there's Kendrick with the tricks. Look at this. He's sticking Ibushi guardrail.
He trapped him.
Oh, my. Oh, he got out, though.
And did you notice, too, Kendrick exposing the guardrail so that that steel would show itself. And now springboard by Ibushi. What a drop kick there.
That was gorgeous, yeah. As usual. Right? Wow. Oh, Ibushi did something and it was gorgeous? Shocker.
Exactly. And Brian Kendrick staying in it. It's going to take a lot to beat Brian Kendrick because, again, Kota Ibushi said in his video package interview before this bout, I'm going to win because I love professional wrestling more than anybody else. With all due respect to Ibushi, I would contest that claim. I think for Kendrick to want to be here at the age he is and at the state of his career that he is, he wants this bad, and I've been saying that multiple times now. I think his fire may burn brighter than Ibushi's, but that remains to be seen. That's why we're here. That's why we're having this match. As Kendrick,
he's the guy that I would love to see on Raw's Cruiserweight division when that happens in a little over 2 weeks.
Certainly. And you've got to imagine, too, at this point in the tournament, knowing that the Cruiserweight division is going to be, again, in 2 weeks, you want to make sure that when everybody sees these performances that you gave your absolute best so that you could get a spot there. But it's still, winning is the best way to make an impression because you can look amazing and still lose, and, you know, that's what they're going to remember as the loss. But look at that neck breaker right on the steel there. Amazing. This is what I'm talking about. What were you going to say, partner?
Kendrick is freaking brilliant. That's that bag of tricks I was talking about. Have you ever seen anybody be able to use the ring, the turnbuckle like that without having to actually expose, without having to take the pad off?
Certainly not. That's why
and there was the most legal low blow possible. Look at that.
Now hooks the leg, too.
Unbelievable.
This is why I've been saying, partner, or at least why I said at the start of the match, this incarnation of Kendrick, this style that Kendrick has utilized, this is the best and my personal favorite Brian Kendrick that I've ever seen. And that's really saying something because I have been high on the Brian Kendrick when he had that run for years, but I think he's even surpassed that with his body of work in 3 matches in this Cruiserweight Classic. And another thing, too, about that neck breaker that I want to point out, that softens up Ibushi's head for that submission hold that Kendrick likes to utilize.
And look at this cravat. He has it still locked in.
Exactly. This is expert maneuvering by Kendrick. What a game plan. And that head and neck.
You realize how painful that is on your neck and jaw area?
Well, I'd have to imagine incredibly painful when it's preceded by a neck breaker on steel. I mean, good God. And Ibushi there successfully fighting out.
And then a low blow that he got away with because he didn't actually do anything. It was just the rope.
Exactly.
And he tried to lock him into that submission there, but Ibushi with the wow, what a drop kick.
And that's the kind of drop kick that keeps you in the fight, partner. Kendrick, though, may not even know where he is. Ibushi going to try and regain his bearings. What a match this has been already. Kendrick now going to try and pull himself up.
Don't forget either Ibushi's neck has always given him problems. I think he might have had a surgery in the last year or 2.
Kendrick charging. Nice power slam, though, by Ibushi.
Oh, moonsault.
He got it.
1, 2. Oh, and Kendrick kicks out. Kendrick is not going to be that easy to put away. If you want to put him away, you're going to have to hit that last right on him. And even then, it wouldn't be super shocking to me if he managed to kick out of even that.
I agree with you. Again, Kendrick didn't come here to place second or, to not even really place at all. He came to win the whole damn thing. Nice spin kick there by Ibushi.
But the knees into the cradle. 1, 2. Oh, but only a 2 count.
A brilliant succession of maneuvers.
Super kick to Ibushi. Wow, that knocked Ibushi out cold.
Even when Kendrick knows he's going down, he'll take his man down with him. And that super kick to Ibushi that may not have quite reset the playing field to neutral, but it might as well have. There's that super kick again, right on the
I got to say, John, if this Brian Kendrick isn't going to be on the Monday Night Raw's Cruiserweight division, and I hope he is, but if he doesn't sign with WWE and go to the Cruiserweight division, I would be more than happy. We've already got Paul London. Let's get Brian Kendrick back in Lucha Underground.
Oh, my goodness. This Brian Kendrick in the Temple, I could get behind that.
I mean, post-apocalyptic, what is it, the post-apocalyptic scavenger?
Exactly.
I mean, I just imagine how wonderful and over-the-top Lucha Underground would be able to take that, just the gimmick based on the name alone.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this Brian Kendrick, I could see as a gift of the Gods champion, maybe even a Lucha Underground world champion. But right now, all he wants to be is the Cruiserweight Classic champion. And Ibushi.
That's exactly right. And there's the toe kick to the face. Oh, he's going for slice bread number 2. Hit it! Oh, my God!
Stacks him up.
Oh, but Ibushi kicks out.
Ibushi resilient. That's why he's here.
Come on, Ken. I'm actually rooting for Kendrick now. I found myself rooting for him.
I noticed that. Hey, partner, you're not the only one. Again, this body of work that he's strung together, and again, it's only 3 matches, the 3rd one currently in progress here. He's been brilliant. Again, the best Brian Kendrick I've ever seen, but the slice bread number 2 wasn't enough. Is he thinking about that hold here? And now look at this. He's going to gain leverage going to the top rope.
What is he doing? He's got him in a sub, but this might be a mistake. Ibushi is at home on the top rope.
He may be at home, but I stand corrected. I was going to say I thought Kendrick had the leverage advantage. Ibushi fighting out.
Oh, the Pele. He did that same move in the first match.
Kendrick, though, hanging on. Interestingly enough, I'm surprised he didn't allow himself to go to the floor, staying in the ring. Man, this is nuts. And we got to see here.
What are you thinking, Ibushi?
What is Ibushi thinking about?
He's going to do the German, the rope standing German. We've seen him do this against Shinsuke Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 9. He stands on the rope and deadlift Germans the guy into the ring.
That was just brutal by Ibushi.
And there it was.
Oh, man, that's a game-changing maneuver, though. That is absolutely
game-changing. Ibushi's not following up. Ibushi, he's crawling slowly, ever so slowly over to try and make the pin, and there it is. 1. Kendrick kicks out.
Kendrick staying in it again. His fire's burning brightly here. He wants this bad. I don't know, man. Ibushi's going to need that powerbomb, brother. That's all it's going to take to me.
Yeah.
I don't think anything else will suffice.
Just to ensure that everybody stays synced up with us for the final minutes of this match. The player right now is at 44 minutes and 18, 19, 20, 21 seconds. So 44 minutes, 24, 25, 26. Just a little update for those of you that are trying to sync up with us. Ibushi is trying really hard to lift Kendrick into a powerbomb position.
Oh, look at that kick
and there's
there
the
to Kendrick.
To the face.
And Ibushi, oh, look at that. He called for it again.
Yeah, I think he might hit it here. He has him up. Oh, but Kendrick weasels out of it. And now he's got him in that headlock. Is he going to get him over? I don't think he... Oh, what is this?
No way.
Ibushi lands on his feet. And there again, Kendrick, he has the submission locked in, John. This not really a crossface even. I don't even know what to call this, honestly.
It's almost like, I don't even want to call it a headlock really cranked up because that's not accurate either. It just seems like a modified choke to me.
He calls it the bully choke.
The bully choke. And now look at this, though. The elbows by Kota Ibushi. Then just one right to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And now Ibushi gonna try. Well, Kendrick met rope there. But now look at the sense
so
Ibushi's throat.
Now he has him up in a torture rack. Holy crap!
Burning hammer there by Kendrick.
You don't see those very often. One.
No, you don't.
2. And Ibushi still kicks out. You never see burning hammers in WWE. That actually used to be Tyler Rex's finishing move.
Yeah, I heard. Well, I mean, this is just one rumor, but I heard Tyler Rex had to stop using it because Cena said it was too similar to the AA, and he shut that shit down. Don't know whether I believe that or not.
I heard he made Alex Riley stop using the TKO for the same reason, and now both of those moves are being used by different people. Although one of them Cena approved because it's his freaking girlfriend.
Exactly. And now Kendrick's got that look on his face. He really thought that burning hammer was going to do the damage, but Kendrick might have gotten into a whole other zone, partner.
He dropped Ibushi right on his head. I would hope it would do the damage, but Ibushi is just otherworldly at this point.
He is. He wants to win. He wants to win. And oh, what a straight kick there to the head of Kendrick. Ibushi off the ropes.
Oh.
Could it be a victory?
Oh, God. No. Is he going to get dropped into his head? Yeah. Oh, the package cradle pile driver. And he kicks out of that.
Kendrick staying in it. Like I said, guys, Kendrick wants it bad. Ibushi's
you really don't see packaged tombstones very often, but it seems like they're becoming more and more prominent over the last year or so. Just over the last year, we've seen King Cuerno use it, Thrill of the Kill. We now have seen Brian Kendrick use it. And I know we've seen it at least once or twice in PWG just over the last, I would say over the last 8 months or so.
Oh, Ibushi. I wonder if he's thinking like a Phoenix Splash or what.
Oh, that he loves to use the Phoenix Splash. You bet your ass he's going for here. And he misses. Oh, and right into the bully choke. This is how he beat his last opponent. I don't remember who it was. Who was it?
Tony
Nese. Thank you.
Kendrick, he's really cranking on that bully choke, but
Ibushi's up on his knees though. Into the roll up. 1, 2, kicks out.
Great sense of kick to the head.
The big kick to the head. Yeah, that's gonna be it. He's got him up, and last ride, and it's over.
There it is.
What? 1, 2, 3. Oh man, I love me some Ibushi, but Kendrick really had me pulling for him in that match.
Definitely. I've called him the Cinderella Man. Well, the Cinderella story has concluded. The clock has struck midnight on Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'll be damned if it wasn't a string of matches. Kendrick may have just performed career resuscitation with this Cruiserweight Classic. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and now Kota Ibushi moves on to face one of either Rich Swann or TJ Perkins.
Exactly.
That match is going to be ridiculous. Swann and Perkins, and then whoever wins that versus Ibushi, and then whoever wins that versus either Metalik, ZSJ, or Dar, which I'm assuming is going to be either Metalik or ZSJ.
Right.
Wow.
I'll tell you, partner, I'm rooting for Swann to take the whole thing, but the competition is looking legit. I mean, you've just had Kota Ibushi advance, Gran Metalik advance tonight. I'm assuming ZSJ is going to advance, but even if he doesn't, Noam Dar is no slouch. Swann has got one hell of an uphill battle, and that's not even counting his opponent for next week, TJ Perkins. Look at this German again, guys. Kota Ibushi's strength is unreal.
Yeah.
Kendrick withstood
in this tournament. I don't think he's listed at an especially high weight. Look at this freaking burning hammer. Dropped him right on his neck. Oh, Kenta Kobashi-esque.
Definitely.
Wow.
And you see there the kick out. I mean, that burning hammer, that would have put away quite a few guys in this tournament. Kota Ibushi.
And then Ibushi missing the Phoenix and immediately Kendrick going for the bully choke. The way that he beat Nese. And Ibushi, once he got to his knees, you could tell that he was going to be able to maintain leverage, and he did. Went for the pin, and Kendrick, being the wily vet, kicked out, but then that Gamangiri kick to the head made it really easy to set that last ride powerbomb up.
Exactly. The Golden Star, Kota Ibushi, advancing to round 4. Kendrick, one hell of a performance, but not good enough to topple Ibushi. I will say, of the 3 matches Kendrick had, I still think the one with Tony Nese was my favorite, but what a barn burner this was.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that his match with this match was exceptional. And, man, Kendrick, we really hope that he sticks around on Raw as one of the cruiserweights. Frankly, I wouldn't even complain if he was the first cruiserweight champion. Obviously, he's not going to win this tournament, but you need – because he's the type, too, where if you can win every week by cheating or taking advantage like what he did against Nice, and I forget who his first opponent was, but whoever that was, be a great champion.
Definitely. I mean, Kendrick, what a story. Had a man come into the business so young. I mean, again, I remember Spanky. I remember when he would do crazy things just to get an opportunity on SmackDown. Then the team with Paul London, and then he really seemed to kick up with the Brian Kendrick, but he had his personal follies. You know, his run with substance abuse slightly, at least against WWE's wellness policy, and I think he's been trying to find his way back ever since. And in came the Cruiserweight Classic, and Kendrick left a body of work in this tournament that he can be proud of. I'm very proud of this man, and I do hope he's
next week. Got Swan versus TJP and ZSJ versus Noam Dar.
I'm really hoping Swan can beat TJ Perkins, but Perkins is just looking otherworldly right now. And I'll tell you, this Cruiserweight Classic.
Look at this. Brian Kendrick still in the ring getting thank you, Brian chants.
Amazing. And well-deserved. Well-deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
This Cruiserweight Classic has had its emotional high points between Cedric Alexander and now Brian Kendrick. I didn't expect this tournament to tug at the heartstrings as it has, but look at him.
Oh, there's Brian. Brian and Brian Kendrick were each other's first ever match.
Exactly.
Both trained in with Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Each other's first match. So they've definitely got a hell of a history with each other.
Now look at that embrace. 2 men who love this craft more than anything else. Standing amidst a sea of people, applauding Kendrick's effort.
Wow.
What a night here,
awesome.
Day 8. What a night this was.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Wow, that was awesome. Whew. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of CWC for this week. Next week, though, schedule's changing up a little bit because Lucha Underground is back. So we'll be doing live reactions to that. I mean, we could do live reactions to this, so I'm sure we'll be able to do live reactions to that live as it's happening for the first time ever on YouTube, streaming live. We'll be watching it on Fubo.tv, so make sure you guys get some subscriptions to that. Immediately after that, we will get right into our Lucha Underground Twitwow review. And as soon as that's done, we will take our time to watch NXT, and then we will be on here with our NXT review. CWC at 9 p.m. on a Thursday is what we did this week, and it's also what we're going to be doing for the rest of the tournament. The final 2 episodes will also be streamed live reactions at 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure that you stay tuned.